the four horsemen means.
Outcomes, real bumps.
Exactly.
And every once in a while, someone's written off TV for a little while.
Dude,
Chris got injured.
Sometimes you got a wellness policy.
Right.
You know what else you should do? You should just say, we should go the other direction. You should say, and to my right, and then Eddie goes.
Or you should say, this is the Dark Architect Chris Burns. And you should just say it like you're Ham and
Hello,
Go.
I'm Chris Burns. Welcome to the episode. That'd be great.
You know he's watching
Your
too.
Josh
like,
Martin is really
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
good
you
with
kidding
that.
me? We're up on the big screen. We're in the projector.
Unlike all of you, I'm on Team Chris on all this. So.
Oh, well, of
right
course
now,
you are.
Right now,
Yes,
he's like,
because-
oh, it's
No,
7:30. They
some
haven't gotten
people are
started.
Never wrong.
Yeah, he for sure.
And some people are never right, it seems.
He's sitting. There's a lot of right now. Are we cross-posted?
1 second, something just happened. 1 second.
It's Chris.
You're on Chris's side, huh? That's
No,
good to know.
I'm with Matt.
No,
I think
no, I'm
I think you got
talking
some
about-
Russian hacks to get in
Sorry.
on it, right?
Josh just revealed his colors before the episode
His
started.
colors, black.
Yeah. should borrow money off him sometime.
You know, it's the fact that both of you still owe me money. So
Me?
What do I owe you money for?
I don't owe
You
you
know.
money.
Hey, Josh.
What do I owe you money for?
I would never borrow money from you.
Tell him how the Jew Venmo'd you money the next day for the hotel room. Tell him how the
You
Jew
did
did that.
Venmo me
Yeah, I
money.
did, motherfucker.
that's the first time I've seen a Jew
Okay,
pay for
let's start
something.
the episode, Josh.
I'm on my shit.
All right, sorry, the Facebook stream messed up. All right, I think we're good. Yeah. All right. You want me to do this intro? Or you
I'll
want to
do it.
Chris?
I'll just do it.
Yeah.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Newt. Hello and a beautiful day to you. Welcome to another episode of the Store Horsemen. I'm here, the special host for this episode, Tony Hinchcliffe. It's very exciting, of course. To my right, the great Matt Edgar. To his right, the great Josh Martin. To his right, Eddie Firth. And we have a special guest in studio, ladies and gentlemen, from New York, New York. Even though he's a fan of the Tampa Bay Vipers, I present to you the one and only Dan Soder, everybody.
That's right, Tony.
Welcome.
I'm here to take the television title tonight. I wanted to bring old fucking territory.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony. I'm sick and tired of being in New York City and hearing about these Los Angeles television champions. I came here to right that wrong. That'd probably be my old territory, just yell promos where they had no personality.
Yeah. It's the same guy.
They were
Every
just
promo.
angry at everything.
It was domestic violence energy all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it, Barbara!
You could really tell back then they were letting them riff,
Yeah.
right? But also some
But
of
they should've-
some of those guys really needed the scripts that are
Yeah,
happening
yeah.
today.
I would be interested to see who would be good at riffing now that's active, because
Yeah.
like Roman Reigns
Oh, yeah.
on script is rough.
Yeah.
I'm
but
not
what
a good
It should be
guy.
rough. He's a big dog.
Yeah.
I'm a dog. I'm a big dog.
It's like, dude, that's the intro to Dog the Bounty Hunter.
I am the
dog, the big bad
Dude, if
dog.
he came out to that after he beat cancer, I
Oh,
would pop through the roof. If I'm like, dude, is he doing Dog the Bounty Hunter? Fucking Roman's back with a shaved head.
Do you think Vince ever pitched like, oh, why don't we get the Who Let the Dogs Out song?
Yeah.
Can we get that?
You would like that, wouldn't you, Roman?
well, for WrestleMania, we're gonna build a giant doghouse.
Oh.
We're gonna wheel it out to the middle of the ring, and when your music hits, you just come out of the doghouse.
Oh, we're gonna watch you eat wet food. wet food over dry food.
Now bark like a dog.
It's got carrots in it.
He makes Trish Stratus his manager, just walks her out.
Yeah, dude. Lead him to the ring. Roman always should have had a manager.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
If you would have given him a Jim Cornette,
Yep.
That he think?
I just said last week, Paul Heyman him up,
Yeah.
and good night, Irene.
a couple Manias ago when it was Lesnar Roman, I thought Heyman should have turned on Lesnar and gone with
Yeah.
Roman.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that would have put me over in a way where
Yeah.
you're because Lesnar doesn't need to cut promos. He's
No.
already set.
Yep.
Just a monster.
He's just a monster. So have him hurt monster, sad monster,
sad
Come on.
monster. Everybody loves that.
Although I feel like the actuality of it, like the behind the scenes, is that Heyman and Brock will never part. Like I feel like Heyman actually is his manager. Do you know what I mean? Like he does all the communication. He probably books his flight for him. Like he's actually communicating. Like,
Yeah.
Brock, we need you at TV next week.
Yeah.
Can
doesn't
you
even
gas
talk-
up the plane?
He doesn't
You're
even talk to
Hilton. Point. What?
He talks to Sable, and Sable talks to Brock.
Yeah. That's how they communicate. She's the whisperer. She just walks up.
Can you tell Brock to come out of the deer blind?
Tell him he needs to change his Netflix password. He got an email that he logged in Mumbai, India.
I wonder if Heyman's ever had to go out to his farm to get him, to summon him.
He goes,
Because that-
Brock, it's time. He's just taking down a fucking tree. Fake fighting my life. Yeah, dude, Brock could go without a manager and Roman with a manager. Just,
especially a talker like Heyman.
oh my God.
Damn.
Is there any way to keep him face with a manager? Because I know they want to keep him face. Obviously, Roman as a heel is going to be compelling when it happens. Is there any way to keep him face with a manager? Just somebody to put him with.
Now you'd have to do an old-timey wrestler who's like, I trained him.
Yeah.
He's the best. I love him.
Bring
He's my
Jose-
son.
Is Jose Lothario?
Yeah, that's
around
what I was
somewhere?
saying, dude. Vince jerks off to that.
Yeah.
Lothario with Roman. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love it. So Dan, welcome. This is your first time on the show. This is very exciting to have you. And I went T-shirt shopping with you in Chicago. We went to the
Pro wrestling teams.
Oh, the headquarters.
What'd you guys get?
I believe I got a Harley race or no, I ordered the Harley race.
Yeah.
I lose track of my wrestling shirts.
Yeah.
What did you get? You got a,
Ric Flair.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
great.
think I lost that shirt.
You know what I got was I still rock it, the long sleeve white Roddy Piper Panther shirt.
Oh yeah.
And I got a shirt with Andre the Giant and Roddy Piper. It's my screensaver on my phone used to be. And I was like, hey, could you make this a shirt? And the guys at Pro Wrestling Tees were like, I can try.
Was it like a match card, like Roddy
No,
versus
it's
Andre?
I'll show you what it is. It's this old school fucking route. It's when they were working like a territory. I showed it to Colt Cabana and he's like, that's a ring in Portland.
Oh wow.
Where he was like, he knew what ring it was. He's like,
Damn.
that's the
That's
same.
crazy.
He was like, yeah, that's definitely. I have it in here. So yeah, this picture.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
So
they're like, yeah, we can make that into
Oh
a shirt.
yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah.
This is
So-
something I always like to ask wrestling fans when I first meet them because it's like
Yeah.
I find it the most important. Like, what was the first thing you saw? Like, what got you into wrestling? Where'd you start?
What
Uh,
was the seed?
The story is, I really don't remember because my mom and dad dropped me off at their friend's house, and they had WrestleMania 1 on, and I was like 1.5,
yeah.
and then I got for my second birthday I got the LJN
Yeah.
or I got the big rubber wrestlers,
Oh yeah.
and then it just became like tapes. Like I would like tapes of Blockbuster. I'd watch like and with
Yeah.
and then with Hulk Hogan and Saturday Night Main Event and Superstars, I was just hooked. And then I found out about the WCW when I was like 10.
Yeah.
9 or 10, and I was already like into wrestling. So it's just like a drug addict. You're just like, oh, more.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's a whole world because there was no internet. So you just learned
It's like someone addicted to pain pills finding out about heroin. They're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is easier to get. It's cheaper.
Right.
It's not as good for me.
It lasts longer.
There's way more blood in it. There's way lasts way too long.
Yeah.
But then it was kind of fun because I think it like in a weird way, my love of wrestling and growing up timed perfectly with like the Monday Night Wars
Yeah.
and the invasion angle.
Right.
Yep.
And it was like you couldn't get enough. When people are like, what did you like? I'm like, I honestly liked both.
Yeah.
I liked watching DX show up in the tank.
Mhm.
I liked watching WCW saying Mick Foley was going to win it.
Yeah.
Loved NWO.
Love the NWO.
That was one thing I remember last night. I did. Dan did an amazing sold out show here in the main room, and I did a guest spot up before him, and we were talking wrestling and a couple other things at one point. And I just looked at you and I asked you a question that I rarely ever ask anyone. I just go, "How old are you?"
Yeah.
And you confirmed that we are the same age, and I don't think we acknowledge that enough. Like how lucky we really are, because when the Attitude Era became the Attitude Era,
We were 13, a
Yep.
little ornery.
Yep.
Mhm.
Stone Cold made sense to you.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
I was
suck
like,
it.
I wanted to walk into a teacher's class and be like, Mr. Wilson, you haven't been a good math teacher, and that's a goddamn problem. You can suck it because Trish told me I could tell you that. You know, like, I still love my mom, though. And I'm scared.
But on the other end, we all caught Hogan. We all caught
Dude, Hulk
Macho
Hogan.
Man.
I have a joke in my HBO special that rings so true, but it was like, Jay and I watched the trailer for Leaving Neverland, and immediately I was like, Hulk Hogan could have fucked me as a kid. I was immediately like, dude, the amount of love.
Yeah.
I had an absentee father,
Right.
and then a fucking Hulk Hogan's there every Saturday.
Yeah.
And by the way, when you look back, dude, he fought like he always wrestled as a heel. A lot of eye rakes.
Yeah.
A lot of
Like back rake.
a lot of shit. Then now, when you look back, you go, man, you sucked.
Yeah.
I said when you're a kid, you love Hogan. When you're an adult, you love Macho. Because you're
Yeah.
like, oh, you realized he was selling. He was fucking putting
Right.
people
Yeah.
over.
Going back to what Eddie was talking about, and you said the thing about the tapes.
Johnny
was there one
Scortis,
tape-
Johnny Cat is back. I didn't get to intro.
Hey,
He was-
how's it going? I've been in the
Beard
fucking
is looking
warehouse,
strong, motherfucker.
slanging tile
Dark
to
black.
fucking. Anyways,
Yeah.
was there one tape that you had? Because mine was WrestleMania 7. When
Great.
Macho Man and Elizabeth like rejoined and he beat
But
the Ultimate
that
Warrior.
match with Warrior is incredible.
That-
That Macho Warrior
and
match.
then there was the
Sherry
Hulk Hogan
leaves him.
yeah.
and Sergeant Slaughter bullshit match.
I do a bit where I say I'm going to cry more when Hogan dies than my own father because
Oh.
I've lived with my father. I never even met Hogan.
Dude, Hogan, it's like, the one tape I would say I had was SummerSlam. I think it was 91. I also had Hulkamania 1 and 4.
Yeah.
Those,
I don't know.
you're-
Those are the only ones you
I'm,
need.
I'm 100% with you again. And one thing I think I don't know if we all did it, but if you would get the pay-per-view, you would just record it, right?
Hell yeah.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
the first time I talked my mom into getting a pay-per-view
Yeah.
was WrestleMania 13, the return of Ultimate Warrior.
12.
That was 12?
That was 12
12.
against Triple H.
You're right. You know what? It was 12 Triple H because it was Goldust Roddy Piper street fight match
Mhm.
and a couple other things. And I was like, please. I was 13. What's WrestleMania this year? WrestleMania 36?
36.
31, 36.
So I was 12. I was 12, but closer to 13.
Damn.
And I was like, can we please get WrestleMania 12? She's like, do you have half the money? You put up half the money. I was like, deal. And I had it like $25. I was like, please.
Yeah.
And I remember being so fucking geeked up.
Oh,
But
man.
most of the time, I would go to friends' houses and that would be a birthday party.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting Royal Rumble
Right.
Oh.
for like so-and-so's birthday. And you're like,
Perfect birthday.
fuck,
party.
yes!
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was like bigger than any movie I can remember going to.
Yep.
Was like when you found out your friends were going to watch, like my friend Johnny, we'd get SummerSlam because his birthday was like around August.
Yeah.
So SummerSlam is like, do you want to go watch it at Johnny Jones' house? You're like,
Yeah.
all I want to do is do that.
SummerSlam is low key my favorite because the first thing I saw was SummerSlam '89. I wanted to watch WrestleMania 5 because my brother went to someone's house. I grew up in Stamford,
Yeah, so you
my-
were by Twin Towers.
and
you-
my
I mean,
brother's like Cub Scout friend, his uncle provided Jake with all the snakes.
that's cool.
So they were like, "Oh, we'll just go watch it at his," because like
Wait,
he was gonna watch.
Wait, your uncle had the snakes?
Not my uncle.
Oh.
My brother's friend's uncle was
Ah.
named Arnie Killian or whatever it was. He provided Jake. He brought to one of our Cub Scout meetings. He brought the fucking cobra that bit Macho Man.
That's crazy.
Get the
Whoa.
fuck out of
Yeah.
here. Get the fuck out of
I
here.
swear to God,
That's
I
fucking
met the
crazy.
fucking
You
cobra.
you met the Cobra?
I met
Dude,
the cobra.
That's
like
bigger than
Macho.
meeting Hulk Hogan. You don't even need no. Thousands of people met
They
Hogan.
had,
You-
they had that cobra at Starcade.
you met the greatest animal, and I shout out to Frankie the parrot. And there's a lot of Damien.
The actual British bulldog.
There's a lot of animals. I just want to say good job.
Old
Matilda.
Barky.
A lot of good boys.
The gobbling.
The gobbledygooker. The red fucking what's his name? Red Rooster.
The Komodo dragon that
Animal.
Animal.
himself.
Steamboat brought out.
Joe Laurinaitis. I just want to say I'm sorry.
The beast incarnate.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar. Anyone? Now we're just going pure animals.
Yeah.
But
Batista.
you met the snake that inspired the greatest wrestling promo of all time, which is Jake the Snake at Tuesdays in Texas. Tuesday in Texas, when he hits Elizabeth and then he cuts that promo, he's like, "That was sweet. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
sweet. Let me, if you come back again, bring Elizabeth.
Oh,
That was sweet." You know, he's
sick.
like, "I'll pay to do it again." You're like, dude. And Macho's just playing like drunk, lost my keys because he got. Where he's like, did I put them? I remember coming home. I remember you told me. You said, "Don't eat so late. It goes to your heart. Yeah, you get heartburn." Then I put the keys down. Because I knew I was gonna take a run. Yeah. Now, thinking back, Who ate my Oreo? But yeah, dude, Tuesday in Texas is the shit. I watched it. I got LASIK and I watched it again. I was like, I just want to put wrestling on. And I watched Survivor Series 91 or 92. Is that when it's Undertaker Hogan?
Yeah.
And that's when that whole shit pops off. And then they're like, Tuesday in Texas. It's one of the best one-off fucking
It's like a week later. They
It's
did
that
a
Tuesday.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Hogan lost to the Undertaker and won the belt back
Yeah.
at Tuesday in Texas.
And that reminds me, that era of having to actually go to the video store, get on my bicycle, go to a video store. I remember the way that the VHSs would clank from hanging out off a plastic bag on the thing, just
Or
sort of
with-
like that hard swing, ka-tink 'em, and you didn't want it too low because it'd get near the tire. Like it was just the feeling of that. Oh, I got a personal pizza because the Coca's pizza was next to Coca's video. It was all owned. It was a monopoly.
Oh.
Dude, the best thing is when you get like 2 wrestling videos, right? And you take them home, and then all of a sudden, those are parts of your match with your Hasbro guys.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So now you're just all involved.
Mhm.
That's just the deep dive.
I had 3 shelves in my room of just VHS that I had every pay-per-view was recorded. And I would just go through them and I'd be like, what do I want to watch this time? And I could just go through all the old ones.
I had a lot of old Saturday night main events. I would tape those.
That's good.
I don't know.
I would tape those.
I don't know when you guys started recording, but I would always hit record right at the part where it says "Do not record." Unauthorized.
That reminds me.
Yeah, got
I
it.
almost forgot.
I was a little OCD, so mine started with 5 minutes of just a blank pay-per-view
Yeah.
screen. So I was like, I don't want to miss it, Mom. I don't want to miss it. Just hit record now.
Dude, that old WWE where it'd be like, "Bah, bah," and it'd show like the old wrestlers, like the old Greek wrestlers,
yeah,
and do
yeah,
the-
yeah.
like their
That's
first
great.
Coliseum video entrance.
Right, I heard that was a reenactment. Like that actually was more modern. They filmed that and then it was
Really?
like black and white filter over that.
Like the moon
yeah,
landing.
I just
man.
heard that this week. Yeah, it's like the moon landing. Yeah.
Just like
Wait.
the lunar landing.
Wrestling's
Dan, can I
not
ask
real.
you? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You were talking
Apparently.
about the LJN toys that you had. Which ones did you have?
I had the first ones I got. I specifically remember the first ones I got were Hulk Hogan and Big John Studd.
Big John Studd.
And then I got
That's everyone's answer.
yeah.
I
on-
used to design them at Jack's. And
Really?
It was me and my brother decided to bring those back to Jack's when we were doing the Classic Superstars. And everyone's like, no, these are stupid. And now when I hear you talk about that shit,
Dude.
it just warms my heart. That's all.
I love how they started doing the Hasbro ones with the new
Mhm,
superstars.
Love those.
Yeah, that's just what's up.
Because those were the ones I got. Like, I had the LJN ones.
LJN were great, but that
Yeah.
was like I want to say up until I was like 7. But when the Hasbro dropped, I remember exactly the first 3 Hasbro I got were Hulk Hogan with the grip where he did the power slam,
Yeah.
Jake
Oh,
the
yeah.
Snake Roberts
Oh, yeah.
who had the snake and he'd do the punch,
Yep.
and then $1 Million Man in his
Yep.
tuxedo.
Yep.
Dude, those became heroin for me. That was like drugs. I would get every time they'd put it out. I remember birthday parties when the tag teams came out.
Yes.
And I got Bushwhackers and Demolition.
Oh, the
Yep.
demolition
And
ones.
I was
Fuck
like-
yeah, with the,
The
masks.
Bushwhackers ones were great because
Yeah.
They actually did the Bushwhacker.
And
move.
then they
Do
did
the
the
thing.
fucking triple Demolition.
That's the one I got. I was so
where you
excited
could
for
get
that.
because originally you had to buy Axe and Smash separate,
Yeah.
but then you could get the fucking 3-pack with the Executioner mash.
Did you guys ever have those?
go.
Did you guys ever get those pillows where the arms just sort
Yeah.
of?
Fuck
laid
yeah, the
down?
wrestling
Wrestling
buddies.
Yep.
Is that
I had
what
a
they were?
Hogan,
They were
yeah, I
called
had
wrestling buddies.
Hogan and Warrior, both with
Yeah.
the belt, which bugged me.
Do you?
Yes,
Yeah.
they both had the belt.
They
I
both had the
all
winged
of
eagle.
those.
So who's the
The
champ?
Universal and the Heavyweight.
I hate that shit. There should be one world heavyweight.
As shitty as they were, I still have such fond memories of those foam belts. You guys had the foam belts, right?
Yeah.
They had
Oh,
the brown
so-
intercontinental
Yeah.
and the black heavyweight.
I once had this bastard dog. Like I wanted a dog when I was a kid, and my mom must have gone to the first like most horrible spot. Like,
Yeah.
I'll teach you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
She got this mutt that would just worst. You could not train this dog. It would piss and shit everywhere, and it ate everything. And I remember I was always like defending it, like, no, Mom, no. Like, she's like, I'm going to get this fucking thing put down every time it would shit or anything like that. And I go, no, Mom, no. And then one day that fucking dog ate one of my foam belts. I'm like, you're dead. That was the,
Fucking put that.
I injected it myself.
You go,
Give me the
"Just-
fucking bleach.
Destroy the animal. Destroy the animal.
I re-leathered the belt. So I took because I love the
That's the most-
Intercontinental belt.
The new Jewish heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
I went to Woolworths and I got fake white leather that they sold at Woolworths.
Jew World Order.
Wait, you did that as a child?
As a kid, and I took the plastic.
I refurbished the belt, mother.
Yeah.
Off the foam. I put it on the
Off
white leather.
foam, fucking white Intercontinental.
So you were right. It was this brown Intercontinental foam belt. I took it off the foam.
It was
I got
brown.
white.
I remember that.
I got white leather because I love Sean.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I literally took my sister's bedazzler and I put what looked like buttons on the
Smart.
back. Like I still have it at my mom's.
Are you
I'll have her
serious?
send it out and bring it in.
Dude, that's
Have your
fucking-
mom send a picture of it.
We
Yeah.
need a mid card for our predictions championship.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. My
I
dad.
went all out.
It'd be funnier if we planted that seed first and
Introduced a new
and
title.
got it. We got to show the camera it too when you get it
I'll
next
bring it in.
next week,
My
and
dad.
then bring in the actual belt.
Yeah.
I got one of those styrofoam ones at, or the Velcro styrofoam ones at a house show at the Cow Palace in '91. It was Warrior versus Macho King for the belt, Perfect versus Roddy for the Intercontinental,
Oof.
and then it was Demolition Bushwhackers for the tag team.
Macho King was badass too. That's one of the best.
Badass.
That's one of the best kings ever. There's been a lot of
Harley
Yeah.
and fucking Macho.
Yeah.
But I got one of the styrofoam ones, and I was like, oh, it's black. And then when I knew it was an Intercontinental. But then when I got to my dad and my grandma's apartment, I was like, oh, but this thing's fucking
Yeah.
brown.
Why was it no reason for it to be brown?
It's so
Just
weird.
to be different.
It's almost like the red tip at the end of the gun, just so everybody
Yeah.
knows it's fake.
Like it was going to confuse it. They're gonna be like, hey, did you take that
hey,
belt?
you still? Oh wait, it's a
Never
toy.
mind. Oh, this kid's not really the Intercontinental champion.
I held this re-leathered white belt up at Madison Square Garden during the curtain call. And it was before the curtain, like it was right before it. Sean beat Diesel in this cage match. He's standing up celebrating. I hold up. He pointed at I swear he pointed at the white re-leathered belt. And then they all did their little too sweet thing.
I mean,
and
you
got
were
in trouble.
there. You know, you were there the night that caused Stone Cold to be Stone Cold.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
It's
I was
fucking
in the
insane.
garden that night.
just weird.
We went nuts for it.
It's weird when you think about like breaks like that. Like
Yeah.
Triple H is supposed to win King of the Ring,
Mm-hmm.
and then he does that, and Vince is like, "We're gonna have Steve win it," and Steve's like, "Oh man, I'll do it."
Yeah.
He's the fucking man.
Yeah, but
As
then-
I've grown up, Stone Cold has became my favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
Just because if he's the fucking.
You
man.
watch any of these chronicles that he does now, where he sits down with the guy?
I'll do weirder shit. If I have 10 minutes, I'll listen to just clips of his podcast talking
Yep.
about the difference between rings.
Mhm.
The other day, I spent 10 minutes listening
Oh.
to Stone Cold talk about a 20x20 versus 16x16.
Yeah.
He's like, you could really move it on a 16x16.
And you're just sitting all hell.
And I was just like,
You get
yeah.
gassed on the
crack
20 by
open a
20.
beer.
I'm fucking loving it. He's like,
Yeah.
he goes, 18-18, you're going to get over. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
but 20x20, you can move. You can do different things. Dude, I'm just sitting and fucking cleaning my hotel like, yeah, dude, this guy fucking gets it. I'll put on one tonight when I pack, you know? About crazy. He's like, I'm with the Big Show. You know, I tell him, I'm like, you got to work me. Work me. You got to get into it. Get mad, you big son of a bitch. And then I love it. It honestly is like, it's what ASMR is
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
some people.
Totally.
Stone Cold talking about anything.
Mhm.
Oh, well, how about the time he said he was laying into Taker and he goes, "Damn boy, do I owe you rent?"
Dude.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite quote from him.
The coolest thing that's ever happened to me as a mark is a couple things, and you'll appreciate this one as a wrestling fan. But I got to become friends with Bruce Pritchard,
Yeah.
just by Twitter, and he likes billions, and we started talking, and then I met Conrad. Anyways, Bruce was in Texas, and he's like, "Hey, I know you got shows in Austin. I'm gonna come by." And he came out to the shows and hung out, and I was like, "Dude, this, it was just fucking fun to hear stories, crazy stories about that, because I love something to wrestle."
Yeah, me too.
And to hear him like in person, you're like, I've never heard that. That's
Yeah.
fucking nuts. And obviously, I'm not going to tell any of his stories, but he was like, "Hey, listen, I'm going to watch the SEC championship game." He's like, "What are you doing tomorrow?" I'm like, "I want to watch the SEC championship game." It's like Georgia, Alabama. He's like, "Why don't you? Well, I'm at the hotel. There's a restaurant. Why don't you come? We'll watch the game and get some food."
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the hotel, walk in, turn the corner, and there's Bruce and his buddy and fucking Taker
What?
Get the
Just-
fuck out
just sitting at this table.
of here.
And I'm like, and I sit down, and he's like, "Hey, man, really cool." He's like, "Nice to meet you, Mark." And Bruce is like, "It's my buddy Dan."
Oh, you're a Mark too?
Dude, it's so funny because it's like it's like when something's terrifying right next to you, and you're just trying to like, hey,
Yeah.
you know when like the hottest girl in school would walk by you in high school, and I don't care what level
No.
of popularity you are, not talking to her, you're just like, you just feel different. You're like,
Yeah.
if I, like you were sitting there talking to Bruce, and I'm like, Like, should I put my hand down? I'm just having all these moments. And we end up watching the game, and as time goes on, you know, but dude, they're telling fucking stories.
Oh.
They're telling fucking like crazy stories where I'm like, dude, this is fucking insane. Like, one of my favorite things that they said is, they were telling a story about like Undertaker was talking about the story about going out with like the boys or whatever. And he just looks at Bruce and he goes, and Razor's there. And Bruce goes, oh boy. That's unbelievable.
Did you do the Macho Man for Taker?
No,
You
man.
didn't?
I feel like that would have been weird. And in fact, I tried to act like I tried to act cool.
Yeah.
Because he was coming to me just like, hey, I'm a normal guy.
Mm.
And then at the very end, I was like, hey man, I'm a huge mark.
It's like, so am I.
Yeah. But he was like,
Bigger one.
He's
Let's hit it
he's
again.
like, cool, man.
You
And I
made
was-
that joke earlier.
Yeah. He goes, I told you, my name is, don't call me Taker. But it was like to the point where I was like, man, I don't know if like, how do you act around a guy that I was scared of at 10 years old?
Yeah.
Right.
When he came out at Survivor Series as part of the $1 Million Team, I was like, dude, he's fucking, this is terrifying.
Have you ever been in the arena when, like at the Garden?
Wow, look at that.
Damn.
And that smile on your face
Damn.
is a
Very
different
rough.
kind of smile.
Yeah.
That's not like we're about to do
No.
comedy
No.
smile.
No,
That's
no.
not Troy Conrad last night
Yeah,
in the
that's-
main room green room.
yeah.
That is the little boy
Yeah, you're
that
like-
used to
Yeah.
videotape
You're like this,
the
you're
paper.
like this, you're
Yeah.
like,
Tony.
"This is fucking Undertaker.
That's true satisfaction.
It's like that. And I think he's gray in the picture, and I'm like, dude, you should come back as Undertaker the Gray.
For sure. I've always
I-
looked
you
more
can
like
move-
a cowboy.
Dude, you can move slower. You can do
Yeah.
big spots where
Yeah.
you just look strong.
Did you pitch this to him at the?
Dude, there's been times where I've been like stoned and been like, I want to call Bruce. Because now that he's back with the WWE.
He'd probably love it, by the way.
I'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking dude, what they're doing now, though, I love. I love what they're doing with Seth Rollins. I love what they're doing.
The Monday Night
Yeah,
Messiah.
Monday
That's
Night
a cool
Messiah
spot,
is fucking
man.
great. SmackDown's getting fun. There's like a lot of.
Tell us
Finally.
more of what you love, and tell us what you hate as well.
Well, I'm a big AEW mark.
I love it.
Because I kind of like the old territory feel. I think MJF is the best heel in the business. That Tens Lashings thing was fun, man. You haven't seen something like that since the 90s.
No.
Where you're
They
like,
took their time with it so that it not only did it build, but each lashing would show.
and
right?
he
Like they didn't-
he gave a lash away. Arn coming down, Dustin coming down. I like the way that they slow roll things.
Yeah.
I like that they kind of like, what I like about AEW is they're like, hey, wrestling fans, you know what you're here for. It's like
Mhm.
when you fuck when you're older. You're like,
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I fucked an older woman and she was like, slow down, dude.
Right.
Slow down. AEW's like that with wrestling fans. They're like, we don't need to get anything. But they start every show with a great match, whether it be Paige and Omega versus, SCU. They just like, they let you get a great match out first, and then they're like, now here's some story stuff. I just like AEW. That being said, I'm a lifelong WWE fan.
Of course.
So I'll watch everything, but NXT is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
NXT and AEW are like 1 and 2. They change,
Yeah.
and then I'll watch Raw. I'll watch SmackDown and Raw.
And NXT Takeover this past weekend was one of the best fucking pay-per-views
How crazy to think
events
that? How
in
crazy?
a long time.
I mean, how crazy to think that NXT would be at a point where it's the premier pay-per-view on a Sunday, and everyone's like, I'm more hyped for this than I was
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
Survivor Series.
Every single match on that NXT Takeover Portland was fucking great. You had
Unbelievable.
maybe match of the year candidate of Johnny
Gar-
Gargano
yeah.
versus Finn Balor,
Dude,
which
Finn,
was fucking I think it was 29-minute match.
Finn Balor,
Of fucking pure fucking awesome.
it was great. Finn Balor dropping down to NXT
Yeah. Great.
made me think like, oh, the WWE, we're just entering a new phase now.
Mhm.
Because now they can take guys that are lost on this card. Like Finn, dude, I love seeing the Prince come back. I like the
Mhm.
double guns.
Or someone that's not even lost. They're doing it with Charlotte now.
Yeah. Charlotte's still over.
That
And-
promo on
yeah.
Monday for the reason that she finally gave for
Yeah.
why it mattered to
Me
her.
and my group set the tone.
And
it's
you're
like-
gonna come in, you entitled wrestlers. I'm the one who did this. I'll show you how it's done.
Great.
Win, lose, or draw. Everybody's gonna look better coming out of that.
I think I didn't like that promo because she did it on Raw. I think it would have meant more if she showed up on NXT tonight and did it.
See, I disagree. I think her doing it on Raw is kind of like, I'm big time. Shut the fuck up, kids. Like
I'll
you
show
know?
up anywhere I want.
I
I'm
get
everywhere.
it, but
Mm-hmm.
it just seems like it's a little loss on
Okay.
Raw just because Rhea Ripley isn't there.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, that's a smart.
with-
That's a
in
smart
her-
way of thinking about it. That she's not in the back to hear it. You know, she's not in the back.
But didn't
hearing
she
it.
come out the week before? Wasn't she there on Raw the week
Yeah,
before?
Yeah,
or something?
something.
They've done crossovers.
And Charlotte showed up on NXT Takeover as well
Yeah.
after the match. After Rhea Ripley beat Bianca, Charlotte showed up and attacked Ripley, which was fucking great.
It's just a strong follow up though. Like we talk about this a lot. Charlotte is my favorite wrestler alive right now. I think she's one of the best in the world. I think that she is the future of it. I want to see Charlotte hold the WWE Championship belt
yeah,
one
that's
day.
crazy.
You know what's incredible is I rewatched the
This
Ric
is
Flair 30 for 30
Yeah.
and watching a younger Charlotte there, really seeing her again, like sort of like just them going back on her, like in the audience at
Yeah.
times. And to think of what she's become. Like, I'd be like, oh, she must be on steroids, but she's not. Like, she is an athlete.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But she wasn't at all then. It's just this normal little girl
yeah.
who I don't even know if she didn't even seem like she was really playing sports or anything.
She
not to
played
mention being
high level volleyball.
okay.
So
well, yeah.
it was and when her she talked about this. In
That's a
something I
frail
saw.
bone sport. You know what I mean? You don't have
No,
to.
there's some thick
Yeah,
old
yeah,
bottoms
yeah.
on, dude. I like that.
She
Trunks. Those are, dude. Volleyball shorts are what's up.
Yeah.
Out of seeing girls' asses.
Yeah.
That's the top athletic wear.
Mhm.
Softball shorts are cool, but give me
The
fucking
volleyball,
volleyball, dude.
man.
I remember they won the state championship. And they did a parade for them, and I was like, dude, there's some serious camel toe.
Is my mouth moving?
Yeah.
Or is it just the things that I'm thinking about in my
Yeah.
head right now?
So yeah,
Uppity,
no,
uppity.
she was like a top level collegiate volleyball player. When she talked about this on something, when that ended, she felt like she was lost, and that's when she found wrestling. She's like, oh, I get it. Like this thing I've been avoiding my whole life because of my dad.
That brings me to a question I've been having since it's been announced. What do you think of the Rock's daughter getting involved with the WWE?
She has very strong genes.
Look, I think
She
that
looks
as
like a
long as this is something that she really, really wants, that this isn't
Yeah.
pressured, or it's not that she feels she has to. I mean, she definitely comes from a family where it's normal to have gotten into the business that way,
For sure.
and
Her grandmother's like her
Yeah.
great grandmother's like a Hawaiian wrestling legend.
and how is she not a great addition? I mean, everyone in that lineage is good.
What's her
It's just
name?
like, I don't know.
Simone.
Simone.
What if she starts off as Simone Maivia?
That would be,
Has to work her way just like the
dude,
Rock.
I would love that.
That would be dope. Like, let's fix that character.
Yeah. I mean, or make it
Overhaul.
work.
I think they've obviously been very careful about, because clearly she's been training for a while.
Yeah, they don't announce
wasn't-
until.
This announcement recently was very after the fact, and they showed a video that clearly was a little older, but The Rock went down to, like, if you go to his Instagram,
Yeah.
he put out this video where he went down to the performance center and worked with her and with other people and like gave a speech. He actually this one got me a little. He lifted her up into a suplex.
Ah,
So you
that's great.
see the Rick. Clearly, he didn't drop her, but he put her back down because they didn't finish the clip. But he lifts her into a suplex, and he's talking to the NXT class.
What if that was his child abuse? His all wrestling moves? You didn't realize he was just working her arm when she came out? Just pulling on it. Like,
Did you do your homework?
Yeah, did he leave any marks on you? There's like chops.
The Rock said, "Did you do your homework?"
It doesn't matter what your mother said. Dude, that would be so funny. You think of Arn Anderson's son, and you're like, your face looks fine. And he goes, look at my arm. She used to work limbs. Dude, that's fucking hilarious. WWE child abuse.
How did it strike you when they announced that she was trained?
I just hope she's in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
You hope any child that does the same thing as their parents in it for the right reasons, and that they want to do it and they don't feel pressured or pushed into it.
And it's going to make it that much tougher the way Charlotte faced this idea. In one of her chronicles or whatever it was, she talked about how she was almost tired of being called Ric Flair's daughter, that her whole career was now going to be just about not being Ric Flair's daughter. And that can be really tough when your dad's The Rock now.
I mean, The Rock, dude, that's got to be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Your dad's one of the top, one of the top.
You know what makes
10
me
of all
think she
time.
might be serious about wrestling? Why isn't she more involved in acting?
Yeah.
Can't she do that?
Yeah, you
I
would
mean,
think
God,
like,
your dad's the highest grossing actor in the world.
Yeah.
yeah, you can play, you can go the Sylvester Stallone route. You could play your dad's daughter in an actual movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, let me play your daughter in an action film. And he's like, all right. Yeah, the wrestling angle is like, there's got to be love for it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean,
It's in the blood.
It's the whole family. That's, I think, the others, because think about every one of her cousins is in it. Everybody is in it. is the entire family,
That's nuts.
right? The Usos, Tamina,
And also, it's going to be a hard
Nia.
path because everyone that gets in the ring with you wants to fucking work a little stiff and be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Becky Lynch's coming up, and the ones that are like have no nepotism,
Right.
and they're just like, I gotta go work it. I know a couple indie wrestlers. My friend Sloan, she's unbelievable, and she's out there working this thing called a death tour in Canada, going over ice roads, and you're like, are you gonna work some shows like that?
Yeah,
you know what I
serious.
mean, and really learn how to hone it. And so I think it'll make her, it'll break her or make her.
Yeah.
But I would, based on nothing else but her, and I don't mean lineage just because of the family. That family was born into it. The respect, the knowledge base, the toughness. Take The Rock out of it.
Yeah.
The rest of the family is fucking incredible.
I mean-
every one of Rikishi, keep going, right.
Usos.
Every single one of the Roman Reigns, every single one of them, to the point where you're like, I get why do you love
Yeah.
it? Because your entire family is in it. They teach
Why
you the right
hasn't
way.
there been a fucking Samoan stable recently? Why aren't the
we
Usos?
talk about
Roman,
that all the
and
time.
fucking, I mean, come
They've
on.
gotten close
Yeah.
a couple times.
Dude,
And
if
they could rival Samoa Joe, who's like not part of that family. Wouldn't that be dope?
He's
and
the
I-
only one.
and don't think I wouldn't flip this table over to see Tamatonga fucking walk in
Yeah.
with the Usos and Roman
Sure.
and just fucking start dominating.
Oh, I'd love that.
Just do a
They-
real no bullshit Samoan fuck you Howleys.
Yeah, exactly.
Just fuck
Do you
shit
guys
up.
remember who was the?
Come on, I'm a Tamatonga mark.
Yeah.
I fucking love that dude.
Yeah, yeah.
That dude's a badass.
You would have loved it. We had Enzo in here, and he called him out. He like cut.
Yeah,
a straight-
and then Tama answered,
Yep.
and then fucking that shit hasn't gone anywhere. Dude, Tama's a real motherfucker.
yeah, he's gonna fly over here.
Dude,
You
I
guys-
fucking
You guys
love that
remember
dude.
It's
when they had
scary.
Legacy? They had Manu as a part of it, right?
Yeah.
I don't who was that. Jimmy Snuka's kid? Or
I don't know.
I don't remember who, but he was in the lineage too, and I thought he was awesome in wellness policy, and he was fired. But that I think she got whether she got into it for the love or not, she has that bred into her. She's gonna have the toughness. She has the wherewithal.
She has the sideburns.
Yeah,
She definitely does. Yeah. Now she's just got to get the $500 shirt
yeah.
and the millions and millions.
And she's 16 or
Dude,
17. She's
it
got
would be
time to learn and grow.
And then all of a sudden she's in the ring giving a promo, and you see her. She's like, Stone Cold. It's like it's just a fucking white trash chick smoking a cigarette. She's like, my name's Darcy Austin, and I don't give a fuck. I'll suck your man's dick.
She's pregnant.
Yeah, I'll fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
Give
What the-
me Darcy Austin, please.
She's
Oh my
What?
God.
What, bitch?
just wearing like a Trump
What,
2020
bitch?
shirt.
She
goes,
just
"I
found out Stone Cold was her dad a few
Yeah.
months ago.
She goes, turns out my dad had a little fling in Tulsa, and now I'm let you here to know that I stand for my anthem. What?
She
What?
changed it. It's not even what. It's huh?
Huh? What are you saying, stupid bitch? Dude, that would be I would pop for that.
Yeah.
The Rock's girl looks strong, though. She's a special child. And speaking of special children, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do something special with a special guy right now. It's been a long time. There's been a lot of shakeups lately around the Store Horsemen, and one of the things that has happened is I have reached out to one of the former consultants on this show, a former very special guest that was on tens and tens of episodes of the Store Horsemen. I told him that we could use some of his brains on this show.
So could he.
He is one of the top young rising comedians in the world. He has autism. He is Autistic Thunder on social media, and he sends in a minute most episodes of this show. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the return of the Meyerowitz Minute.
Stammer away, Josh.
Hey, I am back. Well, a bit not permanently, but you'll be hearing the Meyerowitz Minute here and there once in a while. And now for the actual minute. So one thing I'm feeling pretty passionate about is AEW. I feel like most fans these days are happy to have an alternative, and one of the more recent, relatively, rumors that I'm excited about is that apparently when AEW got contract expansion for 4 more years, that they got an option to make a second show, sort of a SmackDown to their Raw. So here's what I'm hoping out of that is You know how we don't get enough of the women's division, and that's really important for AEW, and they are starting to really build it properly now. I would like is if the second show was a complete program reversal of Dynamite, where we get all men's matches and one women's match. In the new show, that we have all women's matches and one men's match. I feel like if that happened, we'd get like another 45 minutes of dark matches for AEW Dark. Really, the prospect of that excites me, even though it's merely a rumor and I'm merely excited for nothing. Also, AEW, more intergender matches, please. That last one was real good. Needs to not just be on AEW Dark.
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
That sounds
There you
horrible.
I agree.
It's good to see Josh.
I don't know.
Good
I
to
agreed
hear
with
Josh.
everything you said.
It's nice to hear.
If they're doing a second show,
I agreed with everything you said.
You might also have autism. That's a test.
You know what,
See
dude?
if you have autism.
Also,
Finally, a
AEW.
lot of stuff makes sense.
sounds like he's reading instructions off. The
I would love to see the second show be either Saturday morning or Saturday night. I think a
Oh,
Saturday morning
that'd be
show
cool.
hasn't been around for a while, or that 6:05
I think-
spot.
I think, though, age, what AEW is going for, demographic-wise, I think Saturday night would be a better bet.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they do their pay-per-views on a Saturday night.
That
Revolution a week
yeah.
from this Saturday.
could
Very
work.
excited for that. Very, very excited for Moxley Jericho.
they need a video game, is what they need.
So that made me think of the whole thing. Do you know the rumor
Mm.
that AEW
Scooping the melts.
got the
Same engine.
the AKI engine
Yes.
as No Mercy?
No.
Really?
Yeah, that's like a rumor. You can find it on the internet. It's strictly rumor.
We
that's gotta
just- they
happen.
just-
Wow.
They just announced their first action figure line. Literally before I came in here, I saw something posted. They're doing AEW action figures.
What
for
kind of
the-
action figures? Were they more like
They looked very similar to what WWE puts out right
Jax or Hasbro?
now. I didn't even read that far, but
Probably
they look
Jax.
similar.
You
Oh,
can't
God, I hope not.
too posable as.
What about Nia Jax?
Hey,
Josh Martin.
dude! But if they have an AKI THQ build of fucking No Mercy with
Oh my God.
AEW, that will take it to the next level.
Yep.
I honestly believe that will challenge WWE because 2K20 fucking sucks.
They've
awful.
sucked
All
forever.
of them are.
And I
All of
still
them are.
get them every fucking
Yeah,
year.
I don't know
Weird how
why.
they blew that one. It's
Why
so
do they-
bizarre.
It's because they switched developers. They rushed it to market.
Yeah.
Look, they had been making no major innovations anyway.
I don't think they need to make one every year.
No, dude, it was honestly,
Well, they need
it was
to for
fun.
their bottom line, but not the
The
actual
bottom
game.
line is Darcy Austin doesn't like you talking about her daddy's company. There is they need to. I love WWE 2K19. 2K19 had
That
a
wasn't
lot of
bad.
fun. They had
Which
a lot.
one? Who was on the cover of that?
AJ Styles. No, it was
Roman Reigns.
Wasn't that
No.
Seth Rollins?
Becky.
No, that was 18. 19 was
Becky.
It
Yeah.
was Becky Lynch.
What?
But it was
Becky
fun
Lynch.
because of all the custom people you could download.
Mm.
You could get the whole AEW roster.
Oh, yeah.
You could get fucking the way they do custom arenas. They had the Double or Nothing arena like a week after it was on.
Damn.
And you could download
These
it. And
fucking nerds.
The one-
love them. Keep going, boys.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And the great thing about video games now is you don't have to release a game every year. You can release one and just have
Update.
DLCs, that's what I mean.
and update it that way, and you can get it to look good over a year. You can get it to look really good for that second year.
I completely
game
agree.
use.
Update the attires.
Do a patch, do new
Yeah.
belts,
Yeah.
or do the technology where you could show the belt under the jacket where it's not writing weird. Dude, if you put a belt on Keith Lee in
Yeah.
2K20, it goes half into his stomach. And he's like,
That's what happens when you
And
put a
it's
belt
limit-
on Johnny.
yeah.
Oh, we're about.
I was gonna say it really is limitless. They're just like just a weird gold chunk, dude. But I completely agree with that. They did patches. Oh fuck!
Can
Come
I ask,
on,
did any of you
AEW.
guys make yourselves on the game?
Of course.
So I bought 2K20. I haven't really played it yet, but the last one that I loved was, I think it was 2K14, where they did the 30 years of WrestleMania.
It's
and
the
they
best
had,
one they ever did. It's 2K15.
It was 2K15. I
So-
still have that I just put in every once in a while to play the WrestleMania matches that I've already beat, because I think that storyline mode was the most
It's
incredible that they've ever done.
Unbelievable.
It was
the
amazing.
2K13 had the Attitude Era. That was
That's
dope.
awesome.
Oh, wow.
That is awesome. My favorite thing is, obviously I have No Mercy,
Yep.
and I have the N64, and
Yep.
I've talked that shit on Bonfire about how I fuck with N64 No Mercy,
Mhm.
and so I go to Rumors in Winnipeg, and I do a show at Rumors on Thursday. And Thursday night, I'm outside, a bunch of dudes are hanging out, like, "Yo, Soder, you want to smoke a joint?" I'm like, "Yeah." Smoke a joint with them, cool dudes, from Winnipeg. I'm going inside, and one dude was like, I would say let's hang out Saturday. I'll whoop your ass and no mercy. And I was like, you want to give me 30 minutes to make my own character? And he's like, hell yeah. And so I went to, and every time I go back to Winnipeg, I go to this dude's house. And it's like him and his boys, and we smoke weed, and we do, dude, I still have the Intercontinental belt. Gator's still got the Intercontinental belt, and he ain't letting it go through his jaws. Gator, you get in the mud. Because what happened was years ago, I was working comics at Foxwoods with Greg Stone and Anthony DeVito, and we're just like bored, and it's a casino, so we went and saw The Rock in when he plays
Tooth Fairy.
No, when he plays like
Walking Tall.
no, the big, not
Rundown.
Tarzan.
I Am Legend.
Jumanji.
No, when he had the beard.
Hercules.
Hercules, thank you. When he was Hercules, we went and saw it, right? And we're like, we were just laughing because we were like, it's all wrestling gimmicks that he had to beat.
Yeah.
It was like, he's like, oh no, I've got to beat a dead man. Who was like, Undertaker's in this? But then we left, and we were like bored, and we're in this small town that's by Foxwoods, this like small Connecticut town, and they had a video game store. And we walk in, and we're like, oh shit, N64. And I was like, do you have WWF No Mercy? He's like, yeah, we got all our games over there. They had No Mercy. So Greg, Anthony, and I spent 45 minutes each making our own character, and I made Gator. And we would just like, I would just do a shitty.
It's Gator time.
Yeah, Gator time. And then it was like, I would just come snapping and clapping out the wall. And then they
See the
made,
merch.
dude, they made, Anthony DeVito made Hunk Finn, and he was dressed like Huck Finn, but he'd do the Scotty Too Hot. And then, dude, so we just spent this whole weekend like playing No Mercy in like different ways. We do tournaments,
tag
we do
teams,
dude, it was
ladder,
so much fucking fun. So I talked about that on the bonfire. So when I showed up, this dude was like, "You want to play?" I'm like, "Dude, I can make Gator in fucking 30 minutes." He does the jackhammer. That's how he finishes.
Yes.
And then I like, you just have like the different moves, the flying knee coming out, the Triple H knee coming out the corner.
Yeah.
Dude, and if fucking AEW brings back that game, you won't see me.
Oh my god.
Like I'm a big fan of anytime I go to a barcade and see WWF superstars.
Hell
yeah.
I fucking love that
Come
game.
on.
I'm like, take my
WrestleCade?
fucking
Woo! Yeah. Now they're selling the smaller ones that you can
Okay.
buy that go on a desk, and it's the.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like that old
Anytime
game.
I'm at a barcade and I see that game, I'm like, I have to fucking play that game.
Yeah, that was good animation on it too.
Two of my all-time favorites were Raw for Sega Genesis. I played that a lot. Monday Night Raw for Genesis.
I remember that.
And if you had the
I
right
used to have that
code,
game.
you could have 1, 2, 3 Kid or Yokozuna jump from one turnbuckle to the next, back, and then
That's pretty
perform a top rope move. And my friend Kevin and I would do SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, and we would enter 1 and 2 in the Royal Rumble.
Is that
and
PlayStation?
Yeah, it's one of the PlayStation versions, and we'd have to go from 1 and 2 to 29 and 30, and it was always when we got there, we would be like, all right, we're not going to throw each other out, we're done, and then every once in a while we'd fucking turn on each other when one of us would throw the other out.
2K15, you can do great Royal Rumbles on 2K15, and Jay and I would do Royal Rumbles just like, we just get stoned as fuck, and then because then you pick your guy, then when you're eliminated, you're the next guy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was I got tossed out, and then I got Goldberg. I got Black Trunks Goldberg.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
And I fucking cleared the ring.
Yeah.
And then every time Jay
you
would
stand
come,
up, you start slamming your head on the wall.
dude, I would get up. I was Goldberg, and I would just, every time I'd clear the ring, I would just fucking do the taunts
Yep.
until
Yeah.
it's built up.
Get your
And then
chest
Jay would
up.
be like, don't fucking do it. And he would come in the ring,
Yeah.
and I would spear him right when he got in. And then I would fucking save the other finisher and throw him in the corner and kick him over.
Yes.
Dude, I thought it almost ended our friendship. It almost ended our friendship. 'Cause he's like, he was doing that thing. He was like, oh, you're just going to do that fucking thing? You're going to do that thing again? Where I was like, I was doing the
Jump. He does the jump.
and then he'd run in, and I'd fucking bam, hit him with the spear. Dude, it was so much fun. I fuck with 2K15. I got my 360 hooked up too. I might have to-
We've talked video games, we've talked action figures. How about actual physical Were you like me? Did you wrestle a pillow a lot on your bed as a kid?
Yeah,
Do you have nephews or classmates? What was your story growing up?
I had a giant stuffed raccoon that I won at a carnival, and that caught a lot of the. I worked stiff with that thing. I worked real stiff.
Like you had a boner the entire time?
Fuck the shit out of that thing.
Me too.
Yeah, but it would be the ones where I would like off the stairs, drop the elbow, in the basement, like go all the way.
And it was a nice landing pad.
Yeah, then my friend's brother Cody really caught. I didn't have any. I was an only child, so my friend's brother Cody caught a lot of my submission work. I would make him call me the master of pain. I think he's like 7 years younger than me. So when I was 17, he was like 10. And dude, I put him in a figure 4 for real, and he cried. And I was like, and I went like this, like, don't cry, shut up. And they're crying. You're like, shut up, stop. Please.
As an adult, as an adult, this kid is probably traumatized.
Dude, he's
has like PTSD.
Huge now. He's so jacked, and he's got a shaved head.
That's why.
That's why you pushed him over the edge.
Dude, he looks like Ryback. He's just fucking
It is
jacked.
Ryback.
Yeah, I bullied Ryback.
But I used to make my sister put me in the figure 4. She was younger, so I was like, I'm not gonna beat my sister. What?
Oh,
Put me in the figure 4, and I would sell for my sister. She's
That's
like, why are
pretty
we
great.
doing this?
Yeah, if it's not fun unless if you're selling for no one that cares, that hurts.
I used to. I think I talked about this on the show before, but I had a single mom who was also, when I was young, she was pretty sort of mainly bedridden because she got T-boned in a car accident. So she tried her best.
You do submissions on your mom?
No. So, but what I would do, because I couldn't even do that, and there was no, brothers or sisters still in the house that I grew up in. So I would beat the shit out of my pillow, and I would sometimes the match would end outside, like in the hallway or whatever.
Yeah.
And she always knew that because I would also, hit the ground 3 times, of course, and then I would point at her like a referee. So it was like all these characters,
That's
right?
great.
And I would go. Okay, there you go. You know what I mean? I'd say, Reagan, and she would literally, when if she was in a good mood, she would go ding ding.
Yeah.
But sometimes if she wanted to fuck with me, and I was so like also this youthful OCD kid that had no outlets, she would do this thing, which she would just start cracking up right after she would do it. She'd go, ding ding. Like I'm like, no, come on, Mom. You gotta ring the fucking bell.
Sell the ring.
And then she started doing this thing that's still a running joke with us. She'll do it every once in a while where she'll just go, ding ding, motherfucker. And I go, Mom, you can't say motherfucker. Just ring the bell clean.
This is a kid's show.
So fucking funny.
It's true.
I remember as a kid, me and my friend, anytime we would find someone like leave a mattress out on the curb, he would have a garage that his parents didn't really give a fuck about. So we would go and grab him on the bikes and drag the mattress to his place.
This will be a bedbug match.
So we would just store it in the garage, and then we would put it out. So his backyard would have like maybe 6 mattresses all over, and we would just wrestle in the backyard.
Dude, that's
jump
fucking,
off the garage onto the mattress and shit.
You're blading with a fucking broken spring. He's got fucking Dusty Rhodes forehead.
Like I remember, I slammed on the mattress and I hurt my shoulder.
Yeah,
and
the mattress doesn't stop you from hitting the ground
to the point where I couldn't lift my arm. And I'm like, Mom, I need to go to the hospital. My mom's like, you're a fucking idiot. You shouldn't have wrestled.
Some of the things some of the things in retrospect that we were doing, I think a lot of times actually, I don't even think pro wrestlers that do it, even hardcore guys, you see how they land flat on a table and this and that. Even Mick Foley off of Hell in a Cell. We used to have one thing. I know I've never talked about this, but my one buddy, growing up, he had a trampoline in his backyard, and so there was no top rope or anything because there was just a fence. However, there was this big ass tree. And
Jeff Hardy.
Dude.
Literally, we would climb up, and you would have to like climb way up and go way out on the one branch that went way over the trampoline. And sometimes you would just hit it wrong or whatever, and you'd shoot that second time, just land in the middle of the field.
When you first realize you can't powerbomb a friend on a trampoline because they just bounce back in your face.
I was just gonna say, dude, I was wrestling with my friends, and we were in my friend's basement where it was like good carpet. We were like joking around. Dude, my friend hit me with a perfect plex. where he locked me up and my knee went into my fucking face
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
of
Like,
course.
you get smashed and it was like teary-eyed and
Yep.
blood, and I was like, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right, because I didn't want to get in trouble so we could stop wrestling. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fucking, that was a good perfect plex. Oh.
My friend used his mom's taser on a kid to be like Scott Hall, the cattle cross.
Oh fuck.
Dude, that is to this day, like one of my friends that I grew up with, we learned how to lock up.
Mhm.
You know, and then Jay and I started locking up. Lewis is really good at it. Lewis is fun to lock up. Well, you'll do the look around. You're like,
Oh, dude, Lewis was unbelievable at Skankfest.
Right.
I was standing right next to you during that, and we were
Marking.
like, oh my god, like children.
It was
unbelievable because
was
it
the
turns
first-
out Lewis had there was a ring in. There was a Sunday afternoon fucking hoopla.
yeah,
at Skankfest.
Capital Wrestling,
Okay,
who's
yeah.
located in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
and has like Zach Amico's part of it, and they're real fun. There's like a connection to the comedy community.
I got to be a guest commentator for
Great
it, which
job.
was incredible.
I sat behind the booth,
Yeah.
watching you do that.
I
It
was having the time of my fucking life.
It's great, dude. Harry Targinian
Yep.
and a lot of those guys that are fucking really great at Capital Wrestling.
Yep, Zach Amico,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
And Lewis got involved, and we
You know about this?
we marked out.
You'll love this.
We didn't know. Lewis got in the ring. He was supposed to fight his intern Mike Harrington.
It was
And then
supposed to be like
he didn't tell you guys?
No, and he won.
No, what the Harrington thing was promoted. Here's
That was
what's
real.
cool is that it was supposed to be like MMA, but in
Yeah.
a pro wrestling ring, and they had agreed to sort of whatever rules or whatever. Yeah. So this thing was promoted. However, after he beats Harrington, which he did, he standing up and he sort of goes back over to him after like 15 seconds, and he starts kicking him when he's down. And naturally, the crowd who was originally cheering for Lewis
yeah.
anyway is now you're feeling the turn because the crowd's like, "Come on, Lewis!
Yeah, you already
No,
won.
Yeah,
Fuck
you won. Don't
yeah.
be fucking psycho." And then that turns into boo, boo, because he just keeps
And he
doing
starts
it.
getting excited.
And we don't realize that we're taking the baits.
We're getting worked. Dude, this is two people who have been watching wrestling for 35 years.
Yep.
And we're like, fucking stop, Lewis.
Yeah, what are you doing, dude? You're being such an
Stop.
asshole.
Stop it.
And then this big ass pro wrestler that hadn't been seen all night, the biggest fucking, the guy that looks ready, like he's the only reason he's not in the WWE is because he's on steroids.
Yeah.
Comes out, and that's when we started to realize because Lewis got right up in this guy's face. Even then, I still was sort of like,
Well, I've known Lewis too, where I was kind of like, this could be Lewis.
right, yeah.
But then, dude, fucking, they did a couple spots, and it was
Big
great.
spots.
Big spots,
Is
did a
Lewis
choke
taking
slam.
bumps?
Choke slam
Took-
through a
took a
table.
bump.
Lewis took great bumps.
Great bumps. It took him like
He
a
must have
real
trained.
ass dude.
And then
He
he
must
took
have
it.
trained.
He was out. He was out. Right. He's completely sold, and he was playing dead in the middle of the ring. And that's when the guest referee Ari Shafir pulled his pants down around his ankles and sat his bare asshole on Lewis's nose as he was laying there. So literally, Lewis goes from this to like, "Oh God, come on!" So he was like awake immediately. Like that's how you wake up an unconscious pro wrestler.
That's just some good ref work.
Dude, that is great ref work.
Because Lewis knew that was Ari's bare asshole. There is no like,
Yeah.
there's no like, it's not like one of those boxes, and you're like, oh, this
He
could
either-
be a rabbit.
Yeah, he touched that or a dry seal.
That smells like an asshole
That rolled in shit.
with a ball sack attached to it.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's why you should get tickets to Skankfest South. Some of that stuff
Absolutely.
might happen.
Absolutely. And you got to check out Dan Soder. He's got the newest special on HBO, Son of a Gary.
Fucking
He's
A.
unbelievable.
Thanks,
This is
dude.
one of my favorite comedians. This is all of your favorite comedians. This is one of their favorite comedians.
Thanks, dude.
And
Yeah.
unbelievable wrestling fan.
Oh
a
man,
good
it's
human
so fun
being.
because it's like last time I was here when I was promoting the special, I was supposed to do the podcast and then I couldn't, and then it was great to be like, I'll talk wrestling.
Yeah.
Because I think when you have podcasts, you're like, hey, I got
What are we
this
gonna-
podcast.
Yeah.
Right, what are they going
This
to
is
talk about?
you're like, this is just stuff I want to talk about in general.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of glad we didn't cover the end of Takeover, and we haven't because I haven't watched it yet. So don't say anything.
I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
So we still saved it. We got through a podcast.
Yep.
Yep.
I can go watch the last two matches.
But if you haven't checked out, do check out Finn Balor versus Gargano.
It's unbelievable. Old school.
Really, it's
Yeah.
it's a very old school match.
NWA kind
a
of
lot
work.
of reversals and a lot of
False finishes.
and
Right.
a lot of just chain wrestling, which is
Dude.
fucking great.
I'm ready for Jay White to come to NXT.
Oh, interesting.
I'm ready for the Switchblade.
Have you ever
Ooh,
seen a guy named
interesting.
AC
Is that gonna
Romero?
No.
I'm gonna send you this
Obese.
guy's Instagram.
Oh yeah.
This guy
Big man that can
is
fly. It's like a Samoa Joe.
big
Like
man, but
way
big.
bigger. Like
Keith Lee,
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You know what?
bigger than
Bigger.
Keith Lee.
almost like Ralphie May big. Though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this fucking dude that has more spots than a fucking leopard, dude.
Great
Love it.
It's
seller.
insane.
Love it.
You're
Let's
not gonna
fucking
believe it.
go. And AEW's got new action figures out. We're gonna get a
Yeah.
new video game.
Life is good. The
It's a year.
XFL business is a
Woo,
booming.
let's go Vipers.
Go
They're-
wild.
They're 0-2.
Wow. I can't wait.
Vipers.
It's
I
just
can't
start of the
wait.
season,
Yeah.
man. Vipers need to get warmed up. They're
Yep.
cold-blooded.
Yep. They're
Bunch
rusting
of
up.
bunch
Yeah,
of fun
bunch of-
stuff shaking. Make sure you subscribe and leave positive comments or whatever we say at the ends of things like this, and come see us all live. You have any
Yep.
live dates you know of coming up?
DC, I think Denver's almost sold out, but DC, and then I'm going to be in Madison, a couple other places. DanSoder.com for live dates.
Heck yeah,
Fucking A.
absolutely. How about you, Josh Martin?
At Josh Martin Comic, I have nothing really coming up
Oh.
soon.
Well, that's not the way you sell yourself. I'm Darcy Austin, and I want to suck your dick. Come.
Oh, dude, thank you for coming in, man. This was so much fun. It's always fun to find other grown-ups who like wrestling,
Dude, I'll
but
s-
especially comedians when you're like, oh wait, you
Dude,
get the how
I'll-
deep is the reference? You really like it? You want to?
I'll go fucking
Yeah.
all day.
Hell yeah.
Anytime I'm here, we can talk wrestling.
I
That'd be
got
great,
Kill
man.
Tony's and stand-up shows coming up in Vancouver, Swansea, La Jolla, Ventura, Tacoma, Skankfest South. Brand new announced dates in Miami, Florida, WrestleMania weekend. That's interesting. That's
Why
weird.
would you do that?
That's weird that I'm working Friday and Saturday that weekend in Miami, Florida,
Which is
with
close
the
to
Sunday off, which is right next to Tampa Bay, which is where WrestleMania is. You think?
It's where Drew McIntyre is about to raise the belt over his head.
Yes, he will.
The Scottish Psycho is here.
You're surrounded by a bunch of people who hate Drew
I
McIntyre.
love Drew McIntyre. The thing
Johnny
I-
loves him. Everyone else hates
You
him.
know, I
you
love
love
the-
him too.
the-
They're all pro Lesnar guys.
I love the fact that he's also got a little bit of male stripper to him. You guys ready to see my haggis?
What was your big quote, Josh? Best looking human that you've ever seen?
He's the best looking man in WWE right
He's
now.
a specimen.
Many men's.
I'm
Josh
not.
is many men's.
I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm a handsome guy. That's what Roman they start doing for the looks.
So yeah, all that stuff. Eddie, what are you plugging?
I'm doing 4 shows Friday and Saturday next week at Beetle House. Friday night 8
What?
8 or 8:30 and 10 and 10:30, something like that. There's fire dancers. I go at I am Eddie Firth on Instagram. All the information will be there. And then I don't know, something in March.
I'm gonna
nuts.
try to go to these guys' shows.
Yeah,
Johnny
Dude,
Cat,
I want your beard to come to these shows. God
Yeah,
damn, looking strong.
Johnny
Thing
Cat,
is
Johnny Scortis. Anything you're gonna promote right now?
I don't have anything to promote right now.
All right.
All right.
When are we gonna see Johnny Cat come back?
Within a week.
I love it.
It's
All
on the
right.
way.
So heck yeah. Make sure you shout out and follow Chris Burns, please. Right?
At Chris
At
underscore
Chris-
please.
At
Yeah.
Chris underscore please.
Tweet him about fourth quarter numbers. He loves it.
No, why would you? Come on, you're out of, what a stupid thing to say. Fun times, rock and roll, Store Horsemen. We'll see you next week. And that's the bottom line.
Because Darcy Austin said so. Oh, dude, that was
Beautiful.
Come on, man. Oh, fucking talk.
Doesn't get any better than that.
fucking